Hello friends, thank you so much for sticking around. My name is Nicole Smith, Realtor here in Metro Jacksonville, Florida. And in today's video, I want to explore some of the data, why you would want to pick Jacksonville, Florida compared to Orlando, Florida. Now, I know Orlando, Florida is probably the #1 destination spot for everybody in the world because of a couple different theme parks, and well, we know who the big guy is, who really dominates Orlando. And I know I've been there many times. Even when I lived in Canada, we would drive from Canada all the way to Orlando. And even the very first time, I remember our family trip when I was a young girl in the 2nd grade, we had a 32-foot trailer that we pulled all the way from Canada, and we stayed at the campsite on the you-know-what property, and we spent an entire week in Orlando. So I have fond memories of going there as a child, and then when I had children, I also brought them there. So yes, Orlando is very popular, and of course, normal people live there. It's not just about the theme parks. But there is a difference in living there compared to Jacksonville, Florida. And so if you stick around, I'm going to share with you what those differences are. First and foremost, what is Jacksonville, Florida known for? Okay, well, Jacksonville, Florida, you're going to see the slide I put up here. We are known to be the largest urban park system in the United States with 80,000 acres of parks. Yes, you heard me, 80,000 acres of urban parks here in Jacksonville, Florida. This city has more green space than any other city, and we have 4 times the green space than Manhattan alone. We have 950,000 people living here in Jacksonville, Florida, but that's not including the surrounding areas, which makes Jacksonville the most populous city in the Sunshine State. Now say that 3 times. The city gets over 270 days of sun average, and we think that Jacksonville is a great place to live. That's the first overview. Second, if you're looking to buy a home here in Metro Jacksonville, Florida, our median sale prices right now are around $303,000, and our homes stay on the market for about 45 days. Now, you'll find that some single homes or condos or townhouses, they can even be bought for $325,000 into the low 200s. Very respectable and affordable housing here. So I implore you, if you're considering making a move to the big sunny state of Florida, to consider Jacksonville for those few differences alone. Now, we do have surrounding areas. We have options where if you want to live in a metro's, very suburban area, you can. If you want to live in a city, you can. If you want to live on the beach, you can. You have a lot of options here. And in St. Johns County, we happen to have the #1 school system than anywhere across the entire state. That being said, the housing there is a little more pricier. For the exact same house, it's going to be a little pricier, but you're getting the best school system in the entire state. So that's another thing to consider. So some of the areas in the Metro Jacksonville area, Jacksonville Beach, we have Ponte Vedra, St. Augustine, St. John's, Orange Park, Green Cove Springs, Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach, Mayport. We go all the way to Fernandina Beach, Amelia Island. The list goes on and on. From the northern part of Florida, the Georgia borderline, all the way down to Palm Coast are the places I'd like to service. So if you really are considering relocating here from California, Miami, or New York, which happen to be some of the top 3 areas that people are moving here from those areas. And in fact, Jacksonville, we have more people moving to like Ocala or Asheville. And then there's a few people considering, I would say on the list, Asheville was number 1, Knoxville was number 2, and Greensville, South Carolina. Those are the top 3 cities that people are choosing to leave Jacksonville to go there. And they're very small double digits. I'll put that up on the screen. Now, what do you think you can do in Jacksonville? Well, not to mention all those parks, we also have the St. Johns River here. So if you like to do anything freshwater, we have fishing, kayaking, and if you liked the salt water in the ocean, you get the waves. And I mean, people have horseback riding on the beach. There's golf. Of course, you know we do have a major golf tournament here every year. And we also have our Jacksonville Jaguars, which they're doing very well this year, which I'm very, very proud of them. We have several museums. We have such great restaurants here as well, but some of our museums are the Coomer Arts and Garden, the Museum of Science and History, Brumo's Collection Museum, just to name a few. We have so many parks, as I stated, but we actually have a state park right on the ocean called Catherine Abbey Hanna Park. You can bring your trailer there and camp and be right on the beach. It's so spectacular. We have so many good restaurants, seafood, Mexican, Italian, you name it. We have some great restaurants here too, and there's always different events going on. We have a boat event where they will decorate the boats at Christmas and go down the river, and we're always having fireworks. They're usually going on simultaneously downtown and at the beach, so there's so many places you can go to watch the fireworks. So those are just a few of the reasons why I love living in Jacksonville, Florida. And now let's go and share Orlando. So what is it about Orlando? The overview of Orlando goes as follows. Orlando is famous for, as we know, Disney World and Universal Studios. They happen to have a population of 308,000 people, making them the 5th largest city in Florida. And in fact, Orlando is the very first city that had any type of a theme park called Gatorland. And another fun fact is that Orlando Magic, they almost named them Orange Orlando Juice. I think that Orlando Magic sounds much better, but you know, maybe I'm biased. So if you're looking to buy a home in Orlando, the median sale price is $356,465, which is higher than Jacksonville. And the houses sell much faster. They're only on the market for 23 days. So you have to make a decision, and you have to make your decision quick. You'll also find that they have condos and co-ops here between $445 and $210. And in the Orlando area, the townhouses are around $395. So you're gonna get some options there and explore some of the cities. And you know, on the outskirts of their cities, you can find homes in the 200s all the way obviously into the millions. So you can find very nice housing there. Now, some of the other things that people like to do in Orlando, the cost of living there is 2% higher than most places, and it is higher there to live than in Jacksonville. The average rent there is $19.17, and they have a little bit higher groceries there as well. So we'll have to show you that chart. Then their migration, more of their people are leaving Orlando. Their first city is Ocala, the second city is Jacksonville, and their third city is Asheville. And going there, they have New York, Miami, and Washington, D.C. So those are the top 3 cities that are moving to Orlando, and the top 3 cities where people from Orlando are moving from. So obviously we know there's a lot to do in Orlando. Besides the major theme parks, they do have other parks. They have top restaurants and they have a lot of activities there. So we know Orlando has things to do, but the one thing that Orlando has that we don't have as much is traffic. Yeah, traffic. I know you've been to Orlando. You know the traffic there. I-4 is crazy. So that alone would make me decide not to live in Orlando because I don't like being stuck in traffic all the time. And frankly, the traffic in Orlando can be a nightmare. I actually find the traffic in Jacksonville, Florida so easy. And there's so many ways to get around. Even though we're a city of 7 bridges, there are ways to get around Jacksonville. If you look on your phone and you look on different apps to figure out where there's an accident, you can get around it. So to conclude in this video, as you know, I made the choice to move to Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm happy with my choice. Comparing it to Orlando, I would pick Jacksonville over Orlando any day of the week. I can get to Orlando in 2 hours. So when I want Orlando life, I just jump in my car. It's an easy drive to get there. You do get stuck in traffic, so you always have to add maybe 30 to maybe an hour. If you do have an exact time you need to be somewhere. But Orlando is landlocked. Yeah, they have some lakes and a little bit of water, but they have to drive all the way to Daytona Beach to get the beach. Or they have to drive in the other direction and get to Tampa to get the beach. We're this big city with a small city feel, with less traffic, more affordable housing, and we have miles and miles of sand that we get to utilize. And it is very, very nice. So if you're considering making a move to the Metro Jacksonville area, make sure you reach out to me today. Send me a message, send me an email. Let's get a game plan together. If you're thinking of relocating here, I can help you go through that process and make the transition much smoother. And if this video is not quite the one you're thinking about, well, I made another video over there. Just check that one out. Perhaps that one's going to be a little more interesting for you. And remember, friends, life is too short not to love where you're living. And working your 9 to 5, why not do it in paradise? I mean, today, it is a cooler day here in Florida, but you know what? I know in a few days, that temperature's going up. The sun is out. The whole point of moving here is having that freedom where you don't have to scrape the ice off your car. You're not shoveling anything. And you can go to the store in your flip-flops and you're not going to be freezing. It's a great life. It's a really great life. And I ask you, are you loving where you're living? Maybe not. My name's Nicole Smith. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions at all, make sure you leave something in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with a friend. Maybe you've been talking to someone who said they're thinking about moving. Well, Jacksonville is a great option. Bye for now, friends. And remember, stay safe and enjoy your life.